Hello again, Guardians, and welcome back to the channel for another Destiny content related video on the Rise of Iron expansion. Now, many of you that are on the channel recently probably recognize this image. Pretty much a thumbnail of a video I uploaded yesterday on the space AIDS slash infection slash virus slash parasite that is affecting Guardians all over Destiny. Now, what do these viruses do? Well, they give you buffs that allow you to increase your XP gain throughout Crucible, throughout your factions, and also throughout doing PvE events or any other event in Destiny. But is it a good thing to get infected? Sadly, there is a downside and an upside to getting infected. The upside is getting an XP boost. Downside we'll get into later in this video. First, how would you get infected? Well, according to my video yesterday, one way of doing it is getting killed by a Guardian with a super and then going and killing that Guardian, and you'll get infected with whatever perks he has. There's another way. There's other ways of getting infected by dying or doing super kills or also using your special weapon throughout Crucible. There's different ways of getting the infection inside of Crucible, but that's not the only area you can do it. You can also get it in PvE events inside of strikes, inside of the raid. Depending on what's going on, you can get infected by plenty of different ways of options and different things to do, and nobody really understands the exact origin of the infection. What we do understand, though, is how to pass it over to another Guardian. So, if you have a Guardian that has no infection on him whatsoever, if you go into the Crucible and die by a super, and the Guardian has infections on them, the ones that use the super on you, and you res, and you go and kill that Guardian, you will get whatever infection they have. Therefore, if they have 5, you will also get all 5. We have some gameplay to really discuss that and understand what's going on, so let's go into the gameplay and break it down. Okay, Guardians, so we're in the game. We're doing a gameplay of Mayhem Rumble. Why? So Odyssey Grimwall can get a super a lot faster. Now, I'm on my Warlock, and I have no active effects. As you can see, I have no infection. So let's go into Odyssey's account. As you can see, he's using his Warlock, and it doesn't show his active effects, but he has all 5 active. So if I jump over to Oddie, we can actually notice a bunch of sparkles on his head of all 5 different colors. So as you can see here, we're just waiting for him to get his super. Once he gets his super, he will then use it on me, and then we're going to go and revive. Then I'm going to go and kill him. After that, you will notice a thing pop up on my screen, and you will notice that I get all 5 active effects. Thanks to Odyssey Grimwall for having all 5, if he killed me with a super, and I revive, I kill him immediately afterwards, I am granted all of the infection as well, everything that he had. Now, if he had one thing affecting him, I would have only got 1 perk. If he would have had 4, I would have gotten 4. 3, I would have gotten 3, and so on and so forth. As you can see, my screen flashes, and I am given all of the perks. Now we can go into my inventory screen, and we can actually see the active effects. Okay, Guardians, so you know how to contract the infections or said parasites. But how or what does it do to your Guardian, and is it good or is it bad? Well, do you remember me telling you that there was negative and beneficial side effects to this? One beneficial thing to this is it increases your XP reputation gain for your factions, for Crucible, and everything else you do in Destiny, which means, all in all, more loot, more gear, and more motes of light. But there is a very, very big twist and side effect to this, and it has been confirmed by Bungie that each infection creates a disruption or a corruption inside of your Guardian's light, which weakens the link between you and your ghost. The infection's effects are cumulative. There are buffs to XP and reputation gains by being infected, but there are also significant negative consequences that will kick in once Rise of Iron drops and Siva is released into the game world. When an infected Guardian is first exposed to Siva, the Siva mutates and the existing infections or infection and also following negative effects are applied in order based upon how many first instant infections were contracted. So, if you have 1 infection, you get a diminished shield strength. If you have 2, diminished shield recharge. 3, increased substantially to elemental damage, so you take a lot more elemental damage. 4. Diminished weapon damage. 5. Diminished super, grenade, and ability recharge rates. And yes, these are very similar to Strike and Nightfall modifiers such as Trickle and Elemental Burns, etc. And this is going to be affecting your Guardian until Bungie says otherwise. Really, it's going to make the game harder for your Guardians, even though you have an increased reputation gain and XP gain to your Guardians, allowing you to get more gear faster, more motes of light, leveling up substantially quicker, but you're also going to be hardcore into the game, facing enemies that are otherwise going to seem a lot more difficult than normal. Going through the raids is going to seem harder than normal. Why? Because a lot of your abilities are going to be nerfed. Be careful, Guardians. If you want to have all 5 buffs to increase your XP gain, you're going to have to take that with a cost, a price that will make the game very, very hard for you. And you might want to be prepared for that, especially if your Guardians already are close to obtaining 5 altogether right now. If your Guardian has 1, maybe even 0, you might want to stay away from the infection for as long as possible, until Rise of Iron kicks in, and then you might want to go in and figure out what you want to do. And that, Guardians, is all the information for this video. Also, if you want to see the very first video on space aids, click this image. Other than that, Guardians, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, comment your thoughts down below on this infection and all of the buffs and nerfs to this. And again, Guardians, I will see all of you Starside in the next video.